Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Limitless Podcast, where we dive deep into the mindset shifts that create more freedom and success in your life. Welcome to episode 205. I can't believe it's 205 episodes. Every time I say 200, it just blows me away. It has been such a beautiful journey on this podcast, and thanks for being a part of it. As I grow and evolve, we all grow and evolve, and I can share those insights with you. So, in this podcast, I'm going to talk about how strategy is not always the answer. And, in business, I have clients that seek me out for the best strategy to build their business. And I'm going to admit that is a sweet spot for me. It absolutely is. I have a great eye on how to build a powerful business plan. But what I have learned over my years is strategy is not always the answer. We are going to go into how you can use strategy, but what else needs to take place if you continue to do your business, work your business, and you're absolutely not seeing the results that number one, you desire, you deserve, but number two, that those people that are here for you to impact, they deserve to be a part of your life. So let's look at really what is it that is the missing piece? What is it that's the missing piece? If it isn't strategy, I'm going to be really honest. I was so guilty of constantly wanting to change the strategy in my business. I was recently with my son, and I love our conversations together because he's a very bright businessman. He is extremely coachable. He just recently started working for one of the best chefs in Oklahoma City. And he's learning so much, not just about the restaurant industry, but just the business side. This man that he's working for is a very powerful businessman and knows how to increase revenue by the minute. So Brett and I were having a conversation, and we were having a conversation about business, and it came into it eventually ended up with a conversation about buying homes and renovating houses and flipping them or using them as VRBOs. He lives in a very cool area in Oklahoma City, and it's they're known for this area, and people they seek out this area when it comes to VRBOs. So the conversation went in that direction. So we started in business and what he's doing in the restaurant. And then we evolved into how can we make a profit from houses, and particularly in this area. And he lives in he lives in this area, and he lives in a great home. And he kept saying, Mom, I know that I can rent this out VRBO. And I know I could make a lot of money on this. He said, but I'm going to ask the guy if I can buy the house, but it's going to have to be at a very cheap price, because no matter what I do to the house, the walls need to be done, the kitchen needs to be remodeled, the bathroom needs to be remodeled, but no matter what I do to the house, it isn't going to actually fix the problem. Because the real problem is all of these things need to be updated and upgraded because the foundation is actually cracked. And I'm going to tell you, when he said that, I was like, oh my goodness, that is so business related without him even recognizing what the conversation we were having. I can always relate it back to business. And I'm going to tell you that if you are continuing to add strategy, change strategy in your business, and you don't see that it's working, you haven't actually gotten to the crack that's in the foundation. And we're going to talk about what that crack is in the foundation that you need to work on. So, when I was building my network marketing business, I was very, very guilty of constantly changing strategy. And because that's what I knew: strategy, business strategy, have a plan, here's the system, etc. But what I found is that new strategy, adding more strategy, working longer hours you can only get so far in business. So if you feel like you have reached that point where you're like, gosh, why can't I go beyond this? We can only get so far with strategy. Why can't I get beyond this? Why can't my team grow bigger? Why can't I make this income level? We have to look at the crack in the foundation. So, as business owners, I want you to understand that when things aren't working according to our plan, there are certain things that we try to do innately to solve that problem. We are business owners, we're problem solvers, right? So, one of the things that we try and do is okay, I need to learn more. I'm going to go out and I'm going to learn more about what I'm doing so that I'll have the information, I'll be more knowledgeable, and that knowledge is going to help me break through the business blocks right now and get me to that next income level, really get in momentum in my business, whatever that is. But that's not the answer. That's not the only answer. Maybe you do need to learn more, but that's not the answer. Then we try and do more. I was really guilty of this. I'm just going to do more. I'm going to put in more hours. Maybe that's what it is. I need to put in more hours. I need to do more work. That will do it. That will create momentum much faster, and that will get me to where I want to be. That's not always the answer either. I'm not telling you that either of these are wrong. That's not always the answer. You may need to do a little bit of both, but I almost guarantee 99% of the time, it's the crack in the foundation that I'm going to talk to you about. The other thing that I tried to do, number 3, was I found more people. I just need to find more people to help. I need to add more partners. I need to add more people to my team. That's what I need to do. Find more people, find more help, get people to help me with the things that I don't enjoy in my business, and find more partners so that we can grow this together. And that will create the momentum. That will build the business that I want, and I can make more money. So here's where I learned that that's not always the answer. So in my multi-level marketing business that I built, I was guilty of, when my business was flat, I would look at the up and comers in my business and try to duplicate what they were doing. And here's why I did that. Because in my network marketing business, I had many amazing leaders in my organization, But when they were complaining that they couldn't create the momentum, and I always seemed to have several at a time that were like, this isn't working. Why isn't this working? And you're taught to follow the system. And the truth is, the system that we were using, it always worked. There will be times where your business will be flat. And as a leader, when you hear from several people that they're struggling in their business, my default was, it's the system. But it's not always the system. It's what the people are believing about themselves and their potential. I did not know that at the time. I wasn't tapped into mindset. We talked a little bit about mindset, but I'm not talking about reading books on mindset. I'm not talking about affirmations. I'm talking about really doing the inner work to the foundational core belief that's running the show in your business. That's the crack in the foundation. That is the crack in the foundation. I did not see that was the missing piece. But when I saw it and I started to work with my team in that way, I couldn't unsee it. And that's what led me to my career in coaching women to have healthy, empowering thought lives instead of living in a place of self-depreciating thoughts that run the show. And it changed everything for me in my life. And so I just knew that I was being called in this direction. And it's not just for women in business. Our self-deprecating thoughts, they play out in our marriage. They play out in our own self-worth. They play out in how we sell our products. They play out in our relationships with our kids, in our relationships with our girlfriends, and our relationships with our parents. It plays out in every single relationship. So everything that I teach on this podcast, it will transmute into every single relationship in your life. And when you understand that you don't have to do more, you don't have to work harder, you don't necessarily have to find more people or add more strategy or change the strategy or find a different system, All you have to do is find what the belief is that's keeping you from really building to your full potential. And I'm going to tell you, there's not one person on this earth that doesn't have the same potential. We all have the ability to have huge businesses. We all have the ability to make a massive impact. We all have the ability to make millions. Nobody's immune to that. The only thing that keeps you from doing that is the beliefs that are playing in your subconscious mind that you are not aware of, and they're running your show. They're running your show. So we divert because we're scared. We don't want to work. Well, I don't want to do the inner work to find out where that belief came from. I don't want to find out where that belief came from. That might be a little painful. And yes, it is. It's uncomfortable. But what is more uncomfortable? Not having the business that you are here to have, not having the relationships in your life that you are here to have, the healthy, vibrant relationships. What is more uncomfortable? Continuing to do the same things over and over and expecting different results, but getting the same results all the time, or doing the inner work. You have to fix the foundational problem. You're trying to build a house on top of a foundation that doesn't function properly, that is not functioning to your highest good. So everybody has cracks. Everybody has cracks. My former coach that I coached with, she coached multi-billionaires. They came to her not because of their business. They had a very successful business, but they came to her because they weren't happy in any other aspect of their life. They used their business as a way to escape the thoughts that they were thinking. And when they had the business, they had to deal with the thoughts. We all have to come to that place. Every single person has to come to that place. Every single person has those cracks that need to be filled in order for you to have the life that you want and the big success. So if you're coming to me as a client, I'm going to give you strategy, but I'm going to go deep. I'm going to help you find those cracks in the foundation that are running the show, and I'm going to help you heal them. I'm going to help you learn to love those thoughts. I'm going to teach you how to change those thoughts that are more your truth. And we're going to do a lot of different things than you've probably never heard of. We're going to go into that inner child. We're going to do some breath work so that you can really tap into what's in that subconscious mind. And we're going to identify it. We're going to confront it. We're going to love it. And we're going to change it to something that is more your truth. New and different strategy won't help if you aren't healing those stories. So I'm the mentor who will take a look at your business, talk strategy with you, but we're going to get to the root of why you're not getting the results that you deserve. And you do deserve them. I'm telling you, you deserve them. You don't have less than anybody else. That's what I want you to understand. You're only believing that you do, but that's not your truth. So in my coaching, I heal the mind, body, and spirit. Mind, body, and spirit. It doesn't matter what the relationship is, even if it's in your business, we're going to heal that mind, body, and spirit and strategy for you to get limitless results. Fix the foundation, my friend. Don't keep adding the strategy. Don't keep adding more knowledge. Don't keep adding more hours. You may need to do some of that, but I'm going to tell you the biggest change that you can make in your life is take a look at the cracks in the foundation. Thank you for joining me. I believe in you more than you know. You're amazing, and I love you.